misinformation, which some social media platforms are associated with. Millions of lives and businesses have been redefined positively through the instrumentality of social media and online services. The unemployment figures have forced thousands of Nigerian youths to take their fate into their hands and resort to social media, which a multitude of them are now using as offices and shops without walls. Not only are they showcasing various skills right from the comfort of their homes, but they are also deploying little capital to set up virtual outfits, which in most cases is a far cry from what they would have spent hiring physical structures. Apart from the traditional online sale of goods and services, this new breed of entrepreneurs are also sustaining decent lifestyle as brand influencers, bloggers, and social media commentators, just to mention a few. So, how can we further leverage on social media to spur small and medium enterprises development in Nigeria? These and more issues will be discussed at Panorama today, coming to you live from the Lagos Network Center of the Nigerian Television Authority. Don't forget that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News. Our Twitter handle is at NTA News Now and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates. I am Adeola Komiakere. OPEC Secretary General Mohammed Sanusi Bakindo is advocating global commitment to multilateralism with a view to ensuring an unhindered, stable and secure flow of energy to the world. Benny Adams reports that the OPEC boss was speaking during the 15th high-level meeting between OPEC and the European Union.
With the ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis and the attendant consequences on global cost of energy, the Secretary General of OPEC, Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo, says current and future sanctions on Russia could create one of the worst ever oil supply shocks that would be impossible to replace. Citing an estimated 7 million barrels per day of Russian oil and other liquid exports being lost, and given the current demand outlook, Barkindo is of the view that urgent steps have to be taken to address the crisis.
OPEC and our non-OPEC partners will continue to remain vigilant in monitoring the daily movements of the oil market and will continue to meet each month to discuss the latest developments and act where necessary.
On the flip side, the European Union is of the view that it can provide more oil output from its spare capacity, but agrees with OPEC that concerted efforts are needed to resolve the global energy challenge.
It is more important than ever to continue our dialogue because we have to solve all three crises at the same time, and we have to solve them together. The European Union is doing our part, welcoming millions of refugees from Ukraine and ensuring a functioning energy system in Ukraine.
The meeting urged the European Union to promote a more realistic approach to energy transition. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, and the 2009 Federal Government Universities-Based Unions Renegotiation Committee are utilizing different approach to regularize grey areas in the proposed agreement signed in 2020 between government and ASU. The aim is to find a lasting solution to the incessant strike actions. Charles Alpha reports.
The federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities a few years ago signed a proposed agreement with the aim of meeting the demands of ASU. Despite effort by government to meet the demands, ASU claimed the proposed agreement has not been completely honored, and this has led to the shutting down of tertiary institutions every now and then in Nigeria. In the light of this, the federal government set up a university-based union renegotiation team to interface with parties involved with the aim of finding a common ground. The team, after its meeting with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, was with the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, to release some of the pending issues, as you said, were contained in the proposed agreement.
So today we held a meeting with the unions, and they were quite upset. I think that's the right word. They were quite upset that government is unable to meet the respective demands that were being made. The union is of the opinion that they would want to be paid through the UTAS.
They are visiting government agencies that have things to do with the ASU and the other unions in the university system. They will see them next week, and they will be more enriched in the discussion so that they can be able to assist us.
The federal government negotiation team was given 6 weeks to finalize its work with the various parties. In Abuja, Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Signing of Teachers Harmonized Retirement Age Act by President Muhammadu Buhari has been described by the Buhari Media Organization as a very bold move by the current administration to reposition the teaching profession and restore its former glory. A statement by the chairman and secretary of the Buhari Media Organization, Niya Kinsiju and Kasidi Madueke, noted that the signing of the bill into law is a landmark development considering the benefits that will accrue to the educational system in the country, even as it will confer respect and prestige on the teaching profession after being utterly neglected over the years. The group states that Section 3 of the Act, which provides that the public service rule or any other legislation that requires a person to retire from the public service at 60 years of age or after 35 years of service, shall no longer apply to teachers. The group also acknowledged some benefits contained in the Act, which will serve as incentives for teachers. Part of the Act also provides for students in the education sector to earn special bursary allowances while in school and during obligatory teaching practice. Education graduates will also enjoy enhanced entry-level salary in the civil service, while special allowances are to be earned by teachers posted to rural areas. The Act also provided for special teachers' pension scheme to be established, among other benefits and incentives. The Buhari Media Organization commends President Muhammadu Buhari for his determination to restore the important roles of teachers in nation building and particularly the educational development of a country. Now, Nigeria's first transportation university in Daura, Katsina State is set to commence academic activities by September this year. Minister of Transportation Chibuike Rotimi Amechi made this known while inspecting construction work at the university and the Kano-Kaduna rail line. Oyinaya Kaluoka reports.
Was an inspection exercise that took the Minister of Transportation, Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, to 3 places. The first place was at the construction site of the Kano to Kaduna standard gauge rail line in Dawakin Kudu, Kano State, where the minister held a crucial meeting with the contractors. The minister was not impressed with the level of work, and the issue of compensation was of concern to him.
That it is the responsibility of the governor to give us an unencumbered land, despite the fact that we have paid. So if there are problems that we are encountering problems. That is not in dispute. But I think that the best person to resolve those disputes will be the governor of the state.
At Dala Inland Dry Port in Kano, he was displeased with what he saw on the ground.
They promised me they will complete by today. Have they completed the structures? Yes, but I didn't see the landscaping. So I said, look, until you complete the landscaping, I will not be able to bring the president here.
The story was, however, different at the University of Transportation Daura in Katsina State. Work is at advanced level.
It said remaining 7 buildings, and those 7 buildings should be ready before September. I've asked the PAMSEC to invite them for a meeting so that the school can start functioning from September.
The minister visited the Emir of Daura's palace, where he briefed the royal father on the benefits of the university. Oyinaya Kaluoka, NTA News.
Stress at workplace is considered the major primary stressor. It is said to affect individuals' psychological and physical health, as well as the organization's effectiveness. In this report, Hinginojan Adams takes a look at work-related stress and implications, especially in Lagos.
Related stress has now been recognized by the World Health Organization as a global challenge for workers as well as organizations. This has serious effect on the workers' health. Employees who deal with the problem of work-related stress are often faced with low motivation, less productivity, low satisfaction levels, and less safety at workplace. Magdalene Ukudo is a financial analyst. She shares her personal experience on how she manages work-related stress.
Know your job very well. This can help you organize yourself. I know when and when to do things to meet your deadline and to be able to allow your boss, maybe you come out with a plan for your boss to know that, yes, I can be able to do this without too much stress on yourself.
For these respondents, being truthful to oneself by knowing how one's body works will help manage work-related stress.
Do you take some sporting activities? Do you move around? Do you, at least at some certain age, the limbs and the bones and joints start to give way?
What I do most if I'm under pressure at work and I'm stressed, I just leave my office, I'm walk around, see friends, close colleagues, just gist with them for 2-3 minutes, and I'm relieved. I come back refreshed.
Dr. Femi Ogunremi is a medical practitioner. He says workers must devise ways to plan their lives to effectively manage work-related stress.
It's important for us to know that at some point we need to, sit back and then reflect on everything and then put a table of contents that, okay, these are the things I need to do. Which of them is important? Let's prioritize. Important one, let's do when it's necessary.
Determining causes of stress and addressing the challenges are vital in the survival of individuals and organizations.
Federal government is mobilizing engineers to commence repair works at the vandalized transmission tower in Akwa Ibom State that led to nationwide power outage last week. Joshua Ojito reports that the ministerial delegation on assessment of the damaged infrastructure also engaged state government on synergy to protect power facilities.
Wonder what led to nationwide power outage last week. It is this act of vandalization of a major transmission tower in Akwa Ibom State. It is a transmission tower on the Odukpani Ikot Ekpene 330 kV double-circuit transmission line, which was brought down in the creeks of Akwa Ibom State by the vandals. Hundreds of megawatts of electricity generated from power plants in Cross River State lost and the national supply disrupted. Federal government says the load shedding is worrisome, and the managing director of Transmission Company of Nigeria, Sule Abdulaziz, on the mandate of the power minister, is in the creeks to assess the vandalized infrastructure. 1 week deadline is set to fix the damaged tower as engineers are being mobilized to site.
The whole power sector, we are doing our best to make sure that we provide a better supply to Nigerians. And I have already engaged a contractor to come and repair these things. So I'm assuring Nigerians that it will not take time. This tower is going to be erected and we are going to supply good electricity to Nigerians within a shortest period of time.
We are aware of the vandalization of equipment that is going on. We have put the structure in place to hunt down the people that are responsible, and I'm sure some arrests will be made if none has been made already.
Beyond fixing the infrastructure, there are calls for communities to take ownership of power facilities as federal government sustain investment in the sector. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Nigeria has emerged as a major source, destination and transit country for international illegal wildlife trade. With a national strategy to combat wildlife and forest crimes, the federal government helps to change the trend. Anengiye Fineface reports.
2019, at least 51 tons of pangolin scales originating from Nigerian ports were seized globally. The figures increased in 2021 with seizures of elephant tusks, pangolin scales and claws, rhino horns, wild cat skulls, ivory and processed timber.
The over 1,800 species of fauna and about 4,600 species of flora are reported to be found in Nigeria, but they are under serious multiple threats, pushing them to the verge of being lost irredeemably.
The national strategy to combat wildlife and forest crimes is designed to remove the enabling conditions and provide legal frameworks to effectively combat wildlife crimes in Nigeria.
I commend Nigeria for taking determined action to address this growing problem. This 5-year national strategy is a major step towards tackling wildlife and forest crime through a sustained and strategic approach.
All stakeholders, conservationists, civil society organizations, development partners, citizens, law enforcement agencies, and institutions to join us in the implementation of this strategy.
The strategy also increases interagency collaboration, raises awareness, and provides alternative livelihoods to discourage crimes against wildlife and forest resources. Onengiye Fineface, NTA News.
Barely 6 months, another explosion has rocked the Nimbe Bilie Boni in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, claiming unspecified number of lives Monday. Robinson Dera today has an update of the situation.
Nimbe Jetty, where the incident happened on Sunday midnight. As this morning, the report we gathered shows that about 12 corpses have been recovered from the water, 3 children and a pregnant woman. It was a serious casualty here, although it does not affect activities, but we understand that a lot of people lost both human and material resources.
Okay, do you have an explanation, probably from the officials there, as regards what exactly caused this explosion?
Yes, contrary to speculations that the fire was caused by illegal oil activities, eyewitness account reveals that it was as a result of gas leakage from a cylinder. Tugboats usually use pumping machines to scoop water from the boats, and as a result, while they were trying to scoop the water was when the fire ignited. I have one of the eyewitnesses here, Mr. Krekaye Gasklo, who also lost about 3 boats in the incident. Mr. Glasgow, can you please tell us exactly what happened that caused the fire incident?
Okay, on the Sunday night to around 11:45. They called us that there is a fire incident. We now rushed down. As we rushed down, the fire was much. We cannot even able to rescue our boat. There was a market boat who came from Bayelsa, loaded cylinders. So they was trying to pull up water from the boat. If pumping machine now connect with the cylinder, the gas. That was where the fire took place.
One of the major things that we need to understand is that the Nimbe Jetty is the major jetty in the waterfront here in Port Harcourt. And from here, all the riverine communities can be accessed, including areas like Nimbe, Brass, Akasa in Bayelsa State. And the boat that got set fire was a big boat that contained a large number of people with their goods. Therefore, it is still possible that there are still some corpses inside the water unrecovered.
Small and medium enterprise plays vital role in economic growth through job creation, poverty alleviation, among others. Lynn Neneke in this report examines the important role of social media platforms in projecting small-scale business and the opportunities embedded in the cyberspace.
Available data by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics reveals that the small medium-scale enterprises contribute about 48% of the nation's gross domestic product in the last 5 years. This development, therefore, cannot be unconnected with the successes and improvements recorded so far as a result of the social media platform.
And our revenue also increased because we get a huge number of our orders from Instagram on a daily basis for both our trainings and our products.
Comparing the sales I made before I started using the social media and when I started using the social media, I've gone from making pennies to making goodies, all thanks to the social media.
Apart from steady growth on the nation's gross domestic product, the social media has also created job opportunities and opened up investments in the market space.
It offers them access to communities that they can reach at the touch of a button. It offers them the flexibility to work as and how they want. It offers them opportunity for learning and education.
Year 2020 was a classic example when the COVID-19 pandemic grossly affected global economies, of which Nigeria was no exception. And many resulted to driving their businesses through the social media platforms.
It helps you to be aware of your competitors, right? You can see your competitors, you can see what they are doing, and you can be at the top of your game.
My customers get to know me, they get to know why I have passion for what I'm doing.
Doing and promoting businesses on the various digital platforms have proven that it is possible to drive a healthy financial system that is accessible, stable, and transparent for a sustainable future. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
Well, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
And now joining me live in the studio is Elijah Oga, an entrepreneur who has been using the social media platforms to push the frontiers of his business for more than 3 years. It's good to have you join us, Elijah.
Good morning.
Okay, now briefly tell us how it all started.
Okay. My name is Elijah, and the backstory has been prior to 2019, I just had a laundry business. I was doing the laundry business and someone explained to me and told me that instead of just doing your laundry, why don't you create a social media platform and use it? So on creating the social media platform, I opened a page and I noticed that it was easy to connect with people, like virtually anybody that I want to connect with, because they know this is what I do. And when you search online and you are looking for so, you will get me online. Then after laundry, I stepped into doing my own clothing.
Okay.
So from there, I started selling clothes. And since I started, it has given me an upturn in my productivity.
Okay.
I have enjoyed it for the better part of 3 years. I've been selling clothes.
You've been on top of your game
yes,
there.
I've been on top of my game.
And the competition, you're balanced with it.
Yeah, very well.
Okay, now, so what are the feelers you're getting, especially from young SME owners, compared to, the traditional way of doing business?
The good thing about it is, on social media platforms, you don't necessarily need to have a friend. You don't necessarily need to know anybody. Just sell your business. Tell the people your deliverables. And immediately, is either the person is in your business or is not in your business. So I have really enjoyed it because necessarily, prior to this time, people was always, you need to get a store, you need to do this. And I noticed that due to the rate of what is happening in the country now, most people like doing remote jobs.
Okay.
And with remote jobs, from your house, you can open that platform and tell people what you do, and from that same platform they can just message you and you deliver immediately.
Okay, we've heard stories of this is what you ordered and this is what you got.
Yeah.
So what are you doing to make sure that what you put out there is the quality that people want?
What I can say is I can only talk for myself.
Yes.
And what I'm sure about is everything I put online is my particular picture. So like I sell ready-made clothes. So I personally sell it, and I have those kind of people that message me and be like, prior to this time, this is what I do. Even people even say, organ payment on delivery.
Yeah.
Because of
They
the
don't
kind
trust.
of things that has happened
Exactly.
before. So I understood from their side, because they have been in every way, because I will not say it has been so easy, but in every business that has to do with social media, there have to be some people that will try to want to trick their way into it. But I can only say for myself, since I've started, I have been able to curb the excesses of people that think social media is just somewhere that you can just
Put anything out there for people
and just
to.
like
So what other challenges have you passed through?
social, like majorly my business is on Instagram, and Instagram is not, it does not have a particular company in Nigeria. So sometimes when you open a page and you do your ads and you do your promotions and all, sometimes they may look at some things and they may just cut your page down. So most times the way they cut people's page down has made some people really downturn on it, and it has made people very sad. That's like the major thing in social media.
Okay, so but at the end of the day, it's a good thing for you.
So
people.
far you know what you are doing, and you're about your business, and you're not just doing it to scam people. That's just the best way to do business.
Thank you very much. I've been speaking with Elijah Orga, an entrepreneur who's doing great on social media with his business. Thank you for joining us on Panorama.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And a report just reaching us says that the Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, on behalf of the federal government, has declared Friday the 15th and Monday 18th April 2022, which are Good Friday and Easter Monday, to be public holidays to mark this year's Easter celebration. He made the declaration in Abuja. Aregbesola, while speaking, urged Christians to emulate the attributes of sacrifice, togetherness, forgiveness, kindness, love, peace, and patience, which were the attributes and practices of Jesus Christ as exemplified by his ministry on earth. And that's Panorama. I came to you live from the Lagos Network Center of the Nigerian Television Authority. Remember to connect with the NTA to join in the fight against rape and rapists. I am Adeola Komi Akere.